Adam, thank you. Well, tonight, weather conditions are making the search for two missing canoeists more challenging by the hour. The St. Louis County Rescue Squad calling it now a recovery mission.
They've issued an emergency closure order for that area of the BWCA where they say deadly incidents have actually happened before. The two canoes carrying 4 people went over Curtain Falls of Iron Lake in the Boundary Waters Saturday. The falls act as an entry point into Canada. The closure of this area of the BWCA runs through Wednesday.
Well, our Jack Wiedner has been tracking developments all day and joins us live from Tower tonight with the very latest. Jack.
Yeah, well, I'm here at the Tower Municipal Airport, which became a sort of makeshift base camp for search and recovery missions. Crews flew out of here yesterday in this plane to go. Some teams even leaving the Duluth Air Show to help with the ongoing search for 2 missing canoeists in the BWCA. And tonight, they're now calling it a recovery mission. A little after 7 p.m. on Saturday, the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to a water emergency on Iron Lake and the Boundary Waters canoeing area. 2 canoes carrying 4 individuals went over Curtain Falls, leaving 2 missing, 1 injured, and 1 unharmed. 1 injured canoeist was airlifted to Essentia Duluth with non-life-threatening injuries, while the search continues for the missing 2. Authorities have identified the 2 missing as 41-year-old Jesse Haugen of Cambridge and 40-year-old Reese Grams from Lino Lakes. They believe the bodies of the 2 missing are trapped at the base of the falls. Authorities say this is a dangerous area and the deadly incidents have happened here at these falls before.
Do what you can with what you have to work with, and sometimes you don't have the best platform to work from, whether that be a boat or a stable. A lot of these sorties that they're going to fly with these remote operated vehicles will probably be done from shore.
Now, Skelton says if you go in the water when it's 50 degrees, which is about where it's at right now, parties that enter the water could potentially become hypothermic. St. Louis County is using remotely operated vehicles and drones to cover as much area as they can. And the division commander said that bad weather tonight and tomorrow will force planes to be grounded. Now, that applies to some planes being used in this recovery mission, but not this plane right here, the one that's flying crews in and out. They'll be on call, so to speak, if and when crews need to head back here. Otherwise, it's a 10 to 12 hour canoe ride out, so this is about their only option.
Yeah, really hard work for those search crews tonight. We thank them for doing that work. Jack Wiedner reporting live for us tonight in Tower. Thank you, Jack. And we should mention tonight the family and friends of the victims are holding a candlelight prayer in the cities. That's down in Ham Lake. We're going to have live coverage of that and an update on recovery efforts tonight at 10.